Possessor is going to be out on VOD and in select theaters this Friday, October 9th. It is written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg, who is David Cronenberg's son, and Possessor is an arresting sci-fi thriller about elite corporate assassin Tasia Voss. Using brain implant technology, Voss takes control of other people's bodies to execute high-profile targets. As she sinks deeper into her latest assignment, Voss becomes trapped inside a mind that threatens to obliterate her. So as I said, this is from David Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg, and of course you can just expect some of the most bloody, brutal violence that will ever be put on screen. This movie is brutally violent. It is downright to the point where it gets a bit grotesque. But I think the story calls for it, you know? The opening scene of this movie alone is one of the best opening sequences I have seen in a movie all year. It just keeps you wondering, it keeps you guessing, it kind of toys with your mind, and then when you sort of understand what's going on, you're just completely mind blown by this entire sequence, and you think something else is going to happen, and it doesn't. I love that opening sequence with this movie. This movie stars Andrea Riseborough as Voss, and I think she's really good in the movie. Jennifer Jason Leigh is also in this movie. Sean Bean, man. Continue being Sean Bean. I just love the idea that Brandon Cronenberg is kind of going back to what his father did early in his career with like body image and body horror. That's played up to a T in this movie, where you have this person who is using brain implant technology to possess the mind of somebody else, and now this person's just kind of questioning their own humanity and questioning their own body and questioning their choices. The thing is that I really liked, that I think the movie did a very good job of portraying, is that we see the person that Voss is, I guess, quote-unquote possessing. And then when you look into a mirror, there'll be a brief flash of Voss in that body. That was really something that I appreciated about this movie, because I feel like it just touches on the themes of this movie. Identity theft, suppression of memories, questions about oneself, humanity versus a corporation. All of these themes play such a central part into this movie. The Cronenbergs have always been able to capture their themes and present them in an adequate way in all of their movies, and I think Cronenberg really does that. There's parts of this movie that really feel like The Matrix, like brain implant technology. You literally plug into this machine, or you could even say it's like Assassin's Creed, plugging into a machine. There's also visual aesthetics in this movie that feel like they are straight out of Blade Runner. You look at some of the visuals that take place outside of this corporation, and it kind of looks like something Blade Runner-ish, but with like these old 1950s cars. I thought that was something that was really sweeping, really added a lot to the visual presentation of this movie, and it made me wonder what time period this movie was actually taking place in, if this was like an alternate timeline, or if this was just a future and they started resorting back to old ways. The movie makes you question stuff like that, and while it doesn't answer those questions, I think it does a good job at presenting those questions. The visual effects and makeup team, oh my god, for an indie film, that is some great prosthetics throughout the entire movie. Kudos to the hairstyling and makeup team. Jesus, man, like it looked so grotesque and so real, and then there's parts later on in the movie, I don't want to spoil, that feel really weird, but it's just the visual representation and how they were able to convey, I guess, sort of a mask without CGI, because all the movies nowadays are really just CGI. They could have used all the CGI that they wanted, but they decided to go down the practical effects route and use prosthetics, and it was mind-blowing, guys. For an indie flick like this, it was mind-blowing. There's just about one issue I have with Possessor, and that is that at a certain point, it feels like the plot's not really going anywhere. The plot takes its time to get going, and then when it gets going, it doesn't really progress. It's just, you have to do this mission and kill these people. Okay, why? Because of such and such, and I'm fine with that plot, but I just wanted something that explored a couple of these ideas a little bit more, but that's it. I mean, that's the only problem I really have with Possessor. I thought that this was a very great sci-fi movie, grotesque and brutally violent, but great makeup, especially with the prosthetics. I love the visual aesthetic, the themes of this movie. The Cronenbergs always do such a good job. I'm gonna say you will really like Possessor if you have that full bucket of popcorn. Definitely one of my favorites of the year, guys. Check it out when it's in select theaters and when it goes on VOD this week. So what did you guys think of Possessor? Drop me some feedback in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.